Welcome, everybody. This is Friday. Welcome to another edition of your morning workout talk, brought to you by your literary pharaoh. Hey guys, it's Friday. They say happy Friday. They train us. They train our brains to view one day out of the week as a happy day. They say happy Friday. And I understand why they say that, because Friday leads into the weekend. But I'm telling you this, every day is a happy day. Happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy Thursday, happy Friday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday. Why do I say that? Because every day is supposed to be a happy day. Every day is supposed to be a happy day. You have to program your brain to be happy every day. Don't allow the days of the week to dictate your temperament. Be the own God of your own universe and dictate your own temperament. Don't let work dictate your temperament, even if you may hate your job, as many of Americans do. We all hate going to work. Some people have trained their brains to love it, because it's almost like being in a prison, knowing that you cannot escape. So you learn to train your mind, or your mind becomes adaptable, malleable, and conforms to your current condition. So the current condition that you're in, you just learn to accept it. And part of that acceptance is training your brain to find things within that entrapment that makes you happy. So you end up forcing yourself to be content with enslavement. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that wake up as if every day is Friday, and you'll see the major difference that does for your psyche, for your mental health, for your mental stability, or your mental instability, if you have that. If you're not stable, you'd be amazed at what you can train your mind to do. If people can train their minds to love enslavement and love wage slavery and love their oppressor, then we can also train our minds to be happy every day. It's a mindset. But I understand where it comes from, because the hate for going to work gives birth to Happy Friday, because most people are going into the weekend, and some people don't work on weekends. Some people don't work on weekends. But let's not let our work and our jobs dictate our temperament. We have to get a little bit better in that aspect of how we live. Happy Friday, no, happy Monday. When Monday comes, tell yourself happy Monday. Tell yourself happy Tuesday. Tell yourself happy Wednesday. Every day of the week, just tell yourself happy. And even if you don't feel that way, just consider it. Consider it. Yeah. But there's got to be more, man. There's got to be more to our existence. And no, it's not worshiping some unknown entity that you have not seen. That's the worst. People who think they found God or found religion or found anything. Why do you need to find anything? You don't need to find anything. There's I think humanity as a whole serves a purpose for sure, but the purpose we serve is for a nefarious agenda that's outside of our best interest. And what do I mean by that? It means that we are a purpose for something else, somebody else, some other race. There's not an individual person on the planet, and then you say, this is your purpose, this is your purpose, this is your purpose. I believe as a collective, we serve a purpose for an external force, an external race, an extraterrestrial entrapment. We were created by them, the fallen ones. They knew how to manipulate genetics. They knew how to manipulate animal genetics. I mean, your Bible tells you that. And is that because the Bible? Because the reason why I refer to the Bible sometimes when I talk, even though I don't believe everything in it, is because the Bible stole a lot of its narratives from other ancient books. And those ancient books have more truths in them than the Bible. The Bible is just a collage or mixture of different ancient books, which is why some of the narratives in the Bible don't make sense. You have a slaughtering God in the Old Testament, and all of a sudden you have Barney in the New Testament. It's like you have two different gods, and you have people who try to explain it away and say, well, God back then was a God of judgment, and now he's not a God of judgment. But then again, it says God never changes, so why the hell is he changing? If he's killing and slaughtering people in the Old Testament, just continue to kill and slaughter people in the New Testament. Keep it consistent. People always have a way to explain away the contradictions in that Bible, and it's amazing what people would do for a book they don't know where it came from. If you ask most people, where the Bible came from in terms of the stories, they'll tell you that God gave people the word and people just wrote it down. I mean, do you believe that? Do you believe that is? Think about it for a second. If we are all created by this God, why would you just handpick a group of men to write your word? Why wouldn't your word be in every one of us? We don't even need a Bible. We don't need written text. Written text is a way to control people. Written text is used to manipulate masses. See, the written texts back then that were written on Sumerian tablets, ancient writings, those writings were used as a means to try to unveil the mysteries of our origins and the mysteries of these extraterrestrial beings that came on this planet that posed as gods. All right? Every entity has a creator. Even the God you guys serve was created by somebody. Yeah, there is a God of this planet, but it's not the creator of the universe. There's a difference. See, when I talk like this, people think, oh, this God doesn't believe in God. He's an atheist. No, I believe it. I believe in a creator of the universe. There's no such thing as a God. There's nothing to worship. We're the only ones gullible enough to get on our damn knees worshiping something. No other creature does that. You just live. You're supposed to just exist, and exist in a state to reach your highest self, or exist in a state to reach your highest potential. Internally, externally, everything. Maximize your potential on this planet to the best of your ability with what you have. That's what life is about. Spending your time worshiping, praying to something that's ridiculous. Everything that's happened in your life is because you were put in that position and you made dumb mistakes. You have to take full accountability of some of the decisions you've made, and stop blaming stuff on some demon or the devil made me do it, and spirits and all this other stuff. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. So those ancient writings were trying to unveil to humanity of how things were. When they talked about angels in the sky, they didn't have terminology. The emergence of language has been our deepest, most catastrophic insertion into our reality. It's been the most dangerous thing to humanity, is the insertion of language. Being able to communicate telepathically and read minds and read souls, those abilities are gone. The immersion of language, especially the different languages that we have all over the world, it's hard for people to translate truth or comprehend it or interpret it, because one thing can mean one thing in one language, and then if you convert it into another language, then you have to look at the etymological root of that word and say, oh no, it was founded on this, but in this they use it this. It's just the wordplay and the semantics is crazy. Needless to say, there's no the concept, the way you guys view the creation, the world, the planet, the universe, and you have good angels, bad angels. It's almost comical. It's almost like a fairy tale. And the ancient writings didn't write that way. It just said these were beings that came from another planet. They came to this Earth as a sea planet to get resources. Whatever they built was to their advantage. And you had some that were good, who had good intentions. You had some that had evil intentions. You had these beings that were just like you and I. All right? They were able to make decisions. Some of these beings will procreate with their creation. You had stories of the Anunnaki, the beings that came from above, the fallen ones, who were able to insert their souls inside avatars that they built. Remember, these were highly technologically advanced beings. So they were able to live longer than us. They could preserve their bodies in these hyperbaric chambers, in these chambers, and they were able to transfer their consciousness into different bodies, procreating with women on Earth that they created because they saw them as beautiful. Isn't that disgusting? Think about that. If you were smart enough to create another entity, and the thing you created was so beautiful, you decided to sleep with it and to have a child. Now that child is half whatever you created and half you. You had some of those back then. Men of renown. That's what the Bible calls men of renown. The ancient ones. The ones that were just much, much smarter than everybody else. They were hybrid. Of course, the genetic pool became more diluted as time progressed, but nevertheless, there were men in those ages that were not fully human in the sense of being Homo sapiens sapien as we see ourselves today. They had a little bit of extra sauce in their bloodstream. They were able to do things that the normal human can't do. And I don't mean physically, I mean mentally. All right, mentally. These were spirit guides. And of course, some of these people will use their powers and use their talents and gifts to get people to worship them. It's the same thing today. You have people who have gifts and talents. They use that to deceive people. They make people empty out their pockets and pay for things and say, oh, I have a gift. Whether you have oratory skills or whether you have the gift of gab, whatever you have, people use what they have to their advantage and they laud it over other people, and they use that to extract money out of people's wallets in order to get themselves richer. Back then, it was the same thing. It might not have been for money, but it was for worship. It was to get people out there to go work for you. All right, that's what it was. So, to be honest with you guys, and then deep down, because we are, we have that ancestral DNA in us because we were created by these beings. They put some of their DNA in us. There's a reason why we are conscious, we are aware, we have intelligence, we have a soul. We're not robots. We can think for ourselves to a certain degree. Underneath the mass manipulation that we're under, this matrix system, some people can't think at all, but we're trying to fight to climb out of this web of deceit, and which is why a lot of people are trying to find their individual purpose. There's no individual purpose for humanity. There's a human purpose, and the human purpose doesn't serve us. It serves something else. That's the sad part about it. That's the sad part about it. So all I can say, and then you said, but that's a depressing message. I know it's depressing. I know it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. I know what we're taught is that you have a purpose. God has a purpose for your life. Your purpose. No, the purpose for us is to be slaves, mental slaves, spirit slaves, religious slaves. If you fall underneath that category, if you fall underneath that classification, then you're serving a purpose for what they created. See, there are many, many variants that you could fall under. Nevertheless, all the things that you think you're finding, they've already put those elements in for you to fall underneath those constructs. So if you are a religious zealot, you're serving your purpose as a religious zealot. That's your purpose. That's your purpose. But the purpose wasn't, innovatively created by you. You didn't find your purpose. Your purpose was already pre-made. You just found a box and plugged yourself into that box. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, whatever purpose you think you found, you haven't found anything. There's nothing new underneath the sun. You're just falling into the categories they've placed here for you. That's what an experiment is. You think those rats that are in a laboratory when they're conducting experiments, do you think those rats think that they're being controlled? They don't think they're being controlled. They think they have control, not knowing that they have observers, scientists, people who work on them that are watching and observing them to see their characteristics, to see their behaviors based upon certain, elements that are put in, certain variables. Whether you're experimenting on certain foods, whether you want to, understand the behavior of rats, how they respond to certain stimuli, certain stimulants, external and internal stimulants, whatever your experiment you're conducting, you're being watched. We're being watched. This entire existence is an experiment. I truly believe that it is. Human existence, we live, we live, we're born, we die. Now you may say, oh man, that's sad. So that we die and that's it? I don't know. I've never died before. I don't know. And I can say that I don't know. There are many theories out there. Some people think you go to heaven or hell, which is stupid, because I think heaven and hell is a mindset. Heaven and hell is here now. It's a mindset. You can choose to live in a low vibrational aura that's riddled with fear, guilt, shame, pride, ego. All those things keeps you in a state of hell. Then you could be a person that's very stoic, have a transcendent mindset. You have a balanced mindset. You don't let the entrapments of the world weigh you down emotionally. You have an even keel temperament. You're striving every day to be your better self. See, that's the heaven mindset, when you're striving to be better. It's a mindset. While you're living on earth and you're thinking you're waiting for some heaven or hell, it's very disrespectful to the creator of the universe for you to take the human existence that he or she or it, whatever that power is, that the power has allowed you to have as a conscious being, and then to exercise indifference to your existence. You say, what do you mean by exercise indifference? Exactly what the hell I just said. You're indifferent, meaning that you have things around you that you could be doing that are great, but you're waiting for some sky god or sky daddy to come down and save the damn day. No one's saving anything. There's nothing to save. You just exist and do the best with your existence. It's really that simple, folks. It's really that simple. Take advantage of every opportunity. Before you can do good to others, do good to yourself. And the best thing you could do for yourself is to take care of yourself and to take care of your mental state. Because without your mental state, you have nothing. The mental state dictates what you eat. Your mental state dictates your decision making. Your mental state is how your temperament and your emotional state, that's how it's classified. That's the way it's categorized. Are you a person that's always angry? Are you a person that's always sad? Are you a person that's always pessimistic? Are you a person that, whatever you are, is dictated by your mental state. I found my purpose. Well, if you believe so, that's great. That's great. Everyone, I'm not saying that we shouldn't seek a purpose, like in terms of to feel that you're doing something meaningful. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying just to sit there and say, well, we have no purpose. What I'm saying is that to put your purpose on some divine scale, as if the creator of the universe just says, oh yeah, that's your purpose. I created you for this. No. You have to find your own individual purpose as a God of your own life, as a generator, as an organizer, as a dispenser of your own reality. That's what the GOD stands for. Generator, organizer, dispenser of your own damn reality. It's really that simple. What you do in your house is not what I do in my house. Govern your house as the God of your domain, and I govern my house as the God of my domain. You see how that works? Now, collectively as a human race, we all have certain commonalities that we strive to have. We all strive to be loved. We strive to be cared about. We strive to be nurtured, and we strive to have sustenance in terms of having the necessities of life, like food, water, and things like that. Shelter. Those are all common needs of humanity, and that's where our commonalities stop. Whatever you do outside of those commonalities is what makes you your own individual God. And individual gods don't have to clash, because all individual gods are secure in themselves. whether you consider yourself a black man, a white man, a yellow woman, a blue woman, whatever the hell we are. You are just satisfied. You're content because gods are content. Because you're the one generating and organizing and dispensing your own reality. You are responsible for it. If you take on that mindset that I'm responsible for the things that happen around me, those things that are within my locus of control, then those are the things that I'm a God over. And there's certain things that we can't control. Don't worry about those things. If I could tell anybody to find their purpose, that's what I would endeavor for people to do, is to know that you are a God. It's to endeavor to understand the power you have as an individual, autonomous, sovereign being. There's no fates, there's no destiny, there's none of that crap. Stop believing that crap. Oh, this is destiny, this was my fate, this was supposed to happen. No, you have control over what happens. The decisions you make today will impact the outcomes of the future. It's that simple. For every effect, there's a damn cause. For every effect, there's a damn cause. It truly is. For every effect, there's a cause. And that's an inescapable logic. You can't, there's nothing to substitute in there. That's just black and white, plain as day. For every effect, there's a cause. You just don't have an effect without the cause. So we know that to be true. If we understand that linear concept to be true, then it means that you have control over your own damn future based upon the decisions you make today, which will be the cause and the outcomes of what happens later in the future, which is the effect. So that's what happens. Gods are good to themselves. Gods are good to themselves. If you generate and you organize and you dispense your own reality, then you're going to manufacture a reality that's good to yourself. And as you're good to yourself, you can be good to others. Be a God to other people. Help other people. Extend yourself for other people. But you can't extend yourself if you have nothing of yourself. How could you extend and pour out to others when your cup is empty as hell? How can you save a woman from, I don't know, let's say a woman is trapped somewhere. How can you save a person when you're fat and out of shape? You can't do anything. You don't have the strength to pull the woman out the car. You don't have the strength to climb a tree. You don't have the strength to pull yourself up on nothing. You're just a blob. How can you help others if you can't help yourself? Now I understand there are many facets to life, not just the physical parts, but I'm using physicality as an example. But mentally too, if you don't study, if you don't read things, if you don't endeavor to get more knowledge, how can you impart or have meaningful conversations about things? You can't. I'm not saying you have to know everything, but know something. If all you talk about is politics, then you're an idiot. Go beneath the surface of the things that are being thrown at us. Public education, politics, that's the surface stuff. We have to go beneath that. The books, the things that kids are reading today in schools about history are lies, so you have to go beneath that. Politics is a scam, it's a distraction, they're actors. I keep telling this, I told my wife this last night, I said, you know those men are actors. She said, what do you mean? I said, just like Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington are actors on big screen on movies, politicians are actors. He said, what do you mean? I'm like, they're actors. They have on suits, they're talking heads. They're not here to solve any problems. They're just here to distract people, to have people expunge their emotional energy into that. And they siphon energy. It's an energy consumer, emotional energy consumer. Because so many people are glued to politics, and they think that solutions are found in politics. Saying there's solution in politics is like saying that, criminals in prison are the solution to civility. There's no civility with criminal minds. You have chaos and anarchy. You have tyrannical forms of a civilization if you have that, because you'll have the top of the food chain being the people who run it, and they're going to run it in a way to oppress people to keep their control. And I find that very, very ironic, because that's the kind of world we live in. We think we live in a world that's governed by laws and stuff. No, it's not. It's governed by those who have the power, and they do what they can to oppress the people beneath them to keep their power. Same thing that would happen in a prison. If you took away all the wardens, all the cops in prison, you just let the prisoners run the prison, that's what would happen. You'll have a bunch of killing and fight and war, which is what we have in reality. We'll have a bunch of killing, fight, and wars. Then you'll have the ones that are still alive that are going to use their power to control everybody else. That's what's happening on Earth. That's what's happening in America. That's what's happening when Americans go to other countries and invade their country, and they lie to you to say that they're going over there to protect and help other countries. That's a damn lie. America doesn't even help its own people. They don't give a damn about helping people. They believe in keeping their power and keeping their boots on the necks of other people in other countries. That's what they do. So there's no difference in what happens in prison and what happens outside the prison. That's why I've always called this a prison planet. It just depends on what lens you're looking from. Depends on what view you have, what vantage point you have. If you think that you're free, then I guess you're free. But I tell you what, outside those vantage points, there's a bigger vantage point that's more macro. It looks at everything in a panoramic way. It's all a damn prison planet. Everything, even in prison, even the prisons in the planet is a prison. And the freedom you think that's outside the prisons is also a prison. So you guys have to think about those things. Just govern yourself accordingly. Be your own God. Make decisions that are best for yourself first. But not decisions that hurts other people. Do things that helps you first so you can help other people. You are no help to no one. You are useless if you don't help yourself. You're useless to yourself first, then you can't be of help to anybody. All right? You become totally impotent, powerless. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you for indulging me in another morning workout talk. This is your literary pharaoh bringing you another edition of your morning workout talk. All right. I'll talk to you guys on Monday. I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.